What's up, guys? I'm Alec J.
This is young Peter, and you know what? What can you really say at this point? You know, we've been humbled, basically, and we're filming this just a few minutes after Game 7. We're obviously not in the best of moods, but we do this for you guys because obviously you guys want to hear about the recap of this World Series. Congrats
and where things went wrong.
Well, obviously, but congrats to the Houston Astros. I mean, this is why obviously we're very different. But obviously, a lot of respect. Even though we're dead wrong, we're really dead wrong about them actually sweeping them or actually dominating it.
Too cocky.
It was just too it was cockiness, but I mean, for the most part, it was a really great World Series. Right. 7 games, and honestly, Houston came to play in Game 7, and unfortunately, the Dodgers they kind of came, but just couldn't.
They didn't make it all the way. They didn't make it to the finish line, and George Springer was really the reason. I'm pretty sure he got the MVP. As soon as
we shut it off from there.
But I'm pretty sure Springer was the one that got the MVP because he really carried the team, the offense, and he really the reason why the Dodgers lost, among other things. But Houston, obviously the racism. We understand Gurriel eventually tipped his hat and he apologized and tried so hard to do that. But why even do something in the beginning? Because now we as Dodger fans are like Houston, guys. Team, fuck everything. If you guys had beat us without any sort of, disrespect, I'm like, yo, tip our hat to you. But in this situation, fuck you, straight up. Like, I was hoping for you guys to get your hearts broken, and more importantly, I'm very disappointed in the way MLB handled it. You had this opportunity to do something about this. Racism is a real thing in this world, and he's an athlete with a big platform on the biggest stage in the world, and you perform like that. We see the backlash from that. The fans react the way you act, and there's countless and numerous effects of what that caused. And you see it in the games where the kids are pulling their eyes back, and even adults like using this as disrespect. And that's why I was like, you know what, Houston went through a hurricane, so let's give it to them. But after that, I'm like, and everything they went through, they don't deserve this. And unfortunately, we're in the receiving end of that stick, and we're on the wrong side of it. It just went all bad, and I'm not happy. Even more so that the Dodgers didn't even show up for Game 7. Even more so. But let's go with how it all went down. World Series.
So we're gonna start with Game 1, and Game 1 was obviously Kershaw just dominating all throughout the game, and obviously we got to Keuchel. That was the main thing.
First pitch of the game, home run, Chris Taylor. That's great.
Yeah, it set the tone for what was going to be. Was honestly a great World Series. Like, that's one thing I won't take away. Aside from what he said, yes, that's very unfortunate. The way that man carried himself. Unfortunately, you have some growing up to do, and
damn, he's 33. That's a sad.
Yeah, and and because like he said, it's unfortunate, but you know what? I don't want to touch on that because it's honestly this isn't the time or place for that. Game 2, Hill was dealing. He was on point, and you know what? What happened from there?
Well, Dave Roberts just panicked. He hit the panic button and he went straight to the bullpen and started using.
The crazy thing is, we were talking about it just now. It was like when you look back at this series, where we really could have really had an edge. Game 2 to me was that turning point because he overmanaged.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Why would you bring in Jansen for a 6-out save?
Yeah, hell yeah. He didn't even do that. That wasn't even the first time that wasn't the last time that he did it. That was the first time he did it. Yeah, you're right. Oh, you're right.
And then it was just we're so used as Dodger fans seeing Jansen shut it down, but he got beat up, and this is the thing. When those batters over in Houston saw that they can take him out, they took advantage of it, and they just grew their confidence even more. And then I remember seeing a graphic of all the different pitchers they used in that game, and we were down to Brendan McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
they had fought back. And they had
amazing. It was an amazing game. You're talking about They tied it up. Houston tied it up. We take the lead, and then it was so insane. But
ultimately, McCarthy gave up the blow, the losing blow.
And you know what? I can honestly, we could be upset about that, or I could be upset at the fact that when I forgot the Houston reliever who threw it, but he threw it to second, and that ref blocked it with his thigh.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, honestly, it's speculation. He could have gone a third. Hell, he could have scored if it went all the way to the back. We don't know. And again, this is just one of the things we're going to be thinking about over the summer, obviously.
And it's a long summer to spring training, and then
summer. I'm sorry, I'm thinking basketball. I'm like, whoa, winter.
Yeah.
So because obviously spring training is, it's obviously around the corner, but it's gonna be a painful couple months.
So
game three, just like the same story in game 7.
I kind of expected them to lose.
No, yeah, I mean it was expected, but imagine if we had taken game 2.
Oh yeah, the confidence going.
That's why we claimed sweep. Think about it. We weren't saying this to be super cocky. We said this because the Dodgers had just blown out the Cubs 11-1, the reigning defending champs. And then Houston, I mean, don't get me wrong, they had to go through their own 7-game series. And it's like, we take game 2, confidence is riding high. What happens? Darvish gets rocked.
Yeah, and see, I kind of saw that coming because you see the numbers. Altuve had him. Springer had, like, the whole lineup had at least 3 hits on Darvish. They claimed that Darvish was going to be great, and he got over that, but I did not have confidence in him. And for Dave Roberts to leave him in there for so long, it's like, they just let him, let the bullpen or bring in somebody else. Like, let somebody else worry about the rest of it instead of, letting Darvish out there get rocked and be made a mockery of. That's when the whole
that's when that whole squint eyes happen, and this is where America gets reminded of the fact that there's still racism out.
So now going on to game 4, Alex Wood was wheeling and dealing as well. Young pitcher that we have a control of for a couple of years, but he was great, no doubt about what his performance was, and it was like an all around great game for Alex Wood and the team. They rallied around game 4. They rallied around Darvish after they found out what happened. And, they came out swinging, and they did what they had to. They did it.
But going into game 5, which was honestly the best game of the entire series.
Frustrating and nerve-wracking and just all emotional. Again,
regardless of the fact that they lost, but the fact that you're talking about a game where, Kershaw was rocked and, immediately people were panicking, and then we come back. And then Houston goes on another run. And then it just, again, the Dodgers come back, and it goes into extras, and everyone's thinking, holy shit, like, the hell's going on? And this game lasts for 5 hours, and you're like, wow, will this ever end? And unfortunately, I remember it was Derek Fisher who scored the winning run, and everyone was like, well, he plays baseball now? It was weird.
So
very weird.
Winning championship with the Lakers to Dancing with the Stars to game 5 or...
It's a game 5 winning run. It was like, really strange, but hey, shout out to Derek Fisher. But game 6, coming back home, everyone was like, you know what? I even heard it on the radio, 570. They said that, you know what? If you told the Dodgers, hey, you're down 3-2, but your last 2 games are at home, would you take it? And they would say yes.
They were happy. They were actually relaxed and confident. And given that it was Halloween, they were dressed up and they were just confident they were going to win that game. And you could see it on the field. Kenley Jensen shut it down. And the last thing he said was, this is our house. And it would have been great if it was.
And now we come to game 7, where obviously, like we said, where we just watched, and depending on when this video gets out, it still probably will hurt like hell. But again, it happened. We're gonna be thinking over these next few months. Should Kershaw have started this game? Darvish doesn't even last 2 innings.
Again,
and it's like we make the deal to bring him on board. For this very reason. Yeah. This is the reason you were brought on board. And you know what? I can't say anymore. Because you know what? I got so accustomed to seeing these guys come back, and they couldn't do it.
47 come from behind wins, 10 walk-off wins, 11 counting the Justin Turner walk-off in game 2 of the NLCS. But it's like, Dave Roberts, you game 2, and you up game 7. Those are for sure the 2 in the series.
To use Morrow for only an out.
One out, yeah. 1 out, I think 3 pitches. It was like, waste. Okay, so this is just me thinking. I don't know if you agree with me, but you see Darvish struggle game like first inning. He gives up 2 runs. Do you not pull him out? Do you not say, "Hey, you know what? We're not risking it."
At some point, Dave should have been like, "Look, this is Game 7.
Mhm.
There's no tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry.
You have to like throw everything out of the baseball conventional book, throw it out the window because you know what? You have to. If this was the game to overmanage, this had to be the game to overmanage.
Yeah, which he did.
But in just
It was
just too late.
Because if he had taken out Darvish, it's first thing, hey, you know, good.
Yeah, we're only down 2-0.
2 down. It's like a different mentality. It's a 5-run differential to a 2-run differential is a completely different mindset. But it doesn't help that Cody Bellinger strikes out 17 times in the World Series to set a new record. That's like, it might be 18. I don't know. I don't know the exact number, but to strike out that many times.
And the thing is, as a team, to leave 22 left on base.
Oh, that's what hurts. That hurt
right there, because we saw it. Obviously, Dodger fans saw it too. From the first inning on, I believe, until the 6th, they were getting people on base. Hell, they were getting people to second base.
They had the bases
but they
loaded
could never. Yeah, they had them loaded at some point, and they could not cash it in.
Yeah.
And this is what gets frustrating. Throughout the year, we got so accustomed to them bringing in these runs that when it mattered, Houston did it. Only 7 left on. I mean, 7. I believe 8 left on base, but they got 5.
Yeah.
We leave 22 to get 1.
That's ridiculous.
And it's like
6 hits out of 32 at bats, and it's like it wasn't even that bad if they had lost by 1 because there's always that confidence of they walk off. They have the ability to walk off, but you're getting blown out and you're not performing and you're getting shut down, and their pen is one of the worst.
Crazy. No, it was crazy that we were hailed as having the best bullpen in baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, for the most part, we proved that up until a certain point when, again, the overmanaging came through.
Mm-hmm.
And it goes right back to Game 2.
Mm-hmm.
Game 2, just like Game 5, were just those pivotal games where, unfortunately, what could have been.
Yeah.
And now, all we can really say right now at this point is, I'm obviously looking forward to next season. That's how I hope he does. But this hurts like hell. Because we were like, this is it. This is the year. We've seen a lot of playoff disappointment.
Yeah.
And yet again, we have to see it again. And it's like, you know what? That's the ups and downs of being a fan. And the thing, and maybe it's probably just speculation, but the fact that potentially we may lose Adrian and Andre.
Andre, yeah, because he's already bought out. Adrian, he's not bought out yet, but that's $22.3 million that could be shut off for, I don't know, a pitcher, a couple of relievers. I hope they bring back Cingrani and Tony Watson because those guys were pretty good in the postseason. But yeah, there's some holes that need to be filled this offseason. And we await winter season. We await the long, grueling task of spring training. And this offseason, it's going to be long, frustrating, and just brutal. It's going to be bad. It's going to be terrible. But I'm LAJ.
This is Young Peter.